let's just get to the big fish in the room here. How do you get from this and that to being asked to co-write the Queen, Erika Jayne's book?
It was through the recaps. Her literary agent reached out to me on my emails on my Twitter. So she just emailed me out of the blue and was like, "Hey, Erika Jayne's doing a book. Would you be interested in writing it? Do you want to talk about it?" So I talked to her, and she was a fan of the recaps. Erika had read them and really liked my style, and she wanted the book to be funny and fun. And I had obviously on the recaps written about how much I loved her because I do love her. And so I called and talked to the agent, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm going to have Erika call and talk to you." So Erika called me on my birthday.
So the phone rang and it was Erika.
Yeah, and it was like, "Brian, it's Erika." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm dying." And it's my birthday, and I'm lying in bed, and
all right,
she wakes up like super early in the morning.
Really?
And so she would be up in LA before I was up in New York because I am a late riser. So she would always call me and wake me up in the morning.
Not to feed into the stereotype of like a writer, but you rolling out of bed at like noon.
Yeah, usually like closer to like 10 or 11, but she gets up at like 5 or 6 in the morning.
I get up at like 5. Like normally it's like 6:30 now, but back in the day before when I was really, there's nothing better to me than getting up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I love it so much. I can't even tell you.
Oh my God, I can't.
I get up, I do an hour of coffee, and then there's a gym in my building, and then I go to the gym. And then, like, you're done with coffee and the gym, and, like, the sun isn't even up, and no one's up, and you're like, I've already, like, gotten ahead for the day.
I can't deal with that. I like to stay up later than everybody and, like, pound it all out at night and then pass out and then wake up late.
Wow. All right. So now, have you ever written a book at this point or no?
No, I had never written a book. And so I talked to Erika, and she was like, "Hey, I've never written a book either. We're going to figure this out on our own. Like, I think we're going to make a great team. I think, we're going to work together well." And, I knew at that point that all the housewives are in real life like they are in television. And I liked what I saw on television. And, I knew that she was going to be cool and, not crazy and yell at me and awful. And so, so I decided to do it. And
you were living in New York at this time still?
I was living in New York at that time, yeah. And then she was coming to New York for an event. So she came and we met in New York and talked a bit. And then I went to LA a couple times, partially because my husband is a television producer, so he's there a lot for work. So I often tag along with him. And so, but most of the work we did was on the phone, calling back and forth and sending pages back and forth and stuff like that.